Gold prices are rolling around the flat line on Friday morning. Here to talk to us about this action is Frank Trotter. He's the president of EverBank Direct. Frank, it's good to have you back.
It's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Frank, late afternoon on Thursday, the Wall Street Journal reported that the Fed was working on quelling the worries about the rise of interest rates. Did this have any effect on the gold trade late afternoon and early this morning?
You know, I don't think it had a huge effect. Obviously, the Fed's the biggest game in the news right now. You know, will they stop the easing? Will they change the way they do it? Will they call it something different? But if you notice, the prices are kind of flatlined, as you mentioned in the introduction, and I think certainty is the game that we aren't seeing at all here in the middle of the year.
Sure. So right ahead of the Fed meeting on Wednesday, next Wednesday, are you expecting any sort of big price action?
You know, I think the gold price has kind of found an area right now. You know, will it move up or down 20, 30, 40 dollars? That's certainly a possibility. But I think until there's a change in either Fed policy, I don't see anything in the fiscal side, or some global event, we see it sort of trading around this neighborhood, kind of in a range over the summer until something actually happens.
Sure. Now, Thursday we heard that there were more outflows of the ETFs. This is something we've been really used to since the middle of April. But people who are investing in gold and gold products, what do you suggest? Do they dump all of their money into gold futures? Do they go into ETFs, physical gold? What's the allocation that you're suggesting, or even the miners?
Well, I think there's even a couple different things. You know, gold miners are really part of your stock portfolio, your equity portfolio. That's a business of getting the gold out of the ground on an economic basis. So, you know, gold price certainly enters into it, but it's not the primary factor. And it's interesting when you talk about flows. You know, here with clients at EverBank and our metals products, you know, the unallocated, which is similar to an ETF, we have seen outflows both in April and in May. But interestingly, in the physical side, where it's allocated or people are actually receiving shipments, people are buying, and actually buying almost on a 2 to 3 to 1 ratio. Selling on the unallocated, selling on the ETF, buying on the allocated side. And just like you don't dump all your stocks in 2008 because the market's down, 20% is a big move. But, you know, until I get some certainty in the world, I think people are feeling that they want to hold gold as part of a hedge asset.
Sure. Now, at EverBank, you guys have just opened up the automatic purchase pool or purchasing plan option for pooled metals. Can you explain that a little bit?
Well, a lot of people don't want to make a commitment to a single trade, just like they don't want to buy all of a particular equity or bond at one time. And the automatic purchase plan really gives them the opportunity to say, I want to buy a certain amount, whether it's $100, $1,000, $10,000, depending on their means, every month until I tell you to say no. And it's kind of, whether you call it dollar cost averaging or just sort of lowering that risk of entry. People have been asking for it for years, and people have been appreciating it since we opened it.
So it's just a number of different precious metals, or?
You can choose any one of 4 metals, you know, gold, silver, platinum, or palladium. You know, most people are in gold or silver. And just say, I want to put this much money to work every month in that metal. And you may be doing a drip on the equity side. You may be doing something similar with a mutual fund, but you want to add to that position over time, so perhaps your allocations stay somewhat similar in terms of percentage of assets in the long run.
All right, Frank. Well, thanks so much for being with us. We hope to talk to you soon.
Great.
I'm Joe Deaux, The Street.